What's up guys, D-Rock1992 here. For this next video, I'm going to be reviewing the second sequel to the Rocky film series, Rocky number 3. It came out in 1982, and it got a 61% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, definitely down from the 72% rating that Rocky 2 got, and from the 92% that Rocky got. But still, it's just above average for Rotten Tomatoes. I believe 60 and up is fresh, and then 60 below is rotten. But anyway, this movie starts out with the highlights of Rocky's last fight with Apollo Creed, in which Rocky actually wins in this one. So afterwards, Rocky has a streak of 10 straight title defenses in which he is still the heavyweight champion. I mean, he goes a perfect 10-0. Life at home is very good for him. Adrian and him really continue their romance, and they're married now, as they got married in Rocky number 2. He gets even more wealthy. He and Adrian and the family move into a large mansion. He does a lot of endorsement opportunities and things like that. And I also noticed in Rocky 2, I didn't mention this before in Rocky 2, but he was uncomfortable in front of the camera in Rocky number 2. It wasn't quite comfortable, but Rocky definitely improves in the third movie. But one of his fights that he does at the beginning of this movie is with a guy named Thunderlips. It's a funny character. It's played by famous wrestling champion Hulk Hogan, who is, I really did not realize when I watched this, but the dude is huge. I knew, he had muscles and all that sort of thing, but the guy's over just under 7 feet. This guy's huge. Anyway, he really makes an embarrassment out of Rocky in this. Rocky's a pretty, I don't know exactly his height, but he's shortish, and he goes up against the huge Hulk Hogan, or Thunderlips, and he gets his butt handed to him at first, but then he comes back and he knocks down Thunderlips in this movie. I believe he does. But anyway, this is a funny part of the movie, definitely. I like his character, Thunderlips, but he really enjoys life. Rocky really enjoys life as a very rich man, and he gets pretty complacent with himself. I mean, maybe not taking it as seriously as he once did, taking the boxing really, really seriously as he once did. There's a champion that comes up within the ranks. He wins like 8 in a row. And this guy's name is Clubber Lang, and is played by the famous "I'll pin to the fool," Mr. T. Clubber Lang is a really big, pretty tall guy. He's very muscular. He really is a threat to Rocky. And so he challenges Rocky to a match between him and, the match. And Rocky at first doesn't really want to. But Mr. T has to question Rocky's manhood to his wife Adrian, and then Rocky's like, let's go. And so they fight. So they have their first fight, and Mickey originally refuses to train Rocky because he eventually tells him that Mickey made it so that the 10 fighters that Rocky fought, those 10 fighters were below average. He handpicked those fighters to fight Rocky so that it would be easier for The Rock to withstand, to not have a lot of injuries and things like that. He really got hurt by Apollo Creed in the first two Rocky movies, and he suffered some big injuries. And Mickey just wanted to protect him. Rocky questions those victories, those 10 victories that he had, because obviously those guys were below average, and he didn't really feel like he won a big time fight. The guys weren't even with him. So, but Mickey agrees to train Rocky to fight because, Mickey loves the kid. The kid, as Mickey calls Rocky. So they train, and they go right into it. At first, actually, there's a little melee between Clubber Lang and Rocky. Clubber Lang knocks Mickey down. He pushes Mickey to the ground, and then Mickey suffers a heart attack. Rocky is really distracted in the ring to do a lot. Rocky comes out swinging in the first round, but then the next couple rounds, he's just so distracted by Mickey. He wants to know, is Mickey okay? And, Mr. T knocks him out in the third round, and he loses the heavyweight championship. Mr. T is the Clubber Lang is the new guy. But Rocky's really distraught. He wants Mickey to be okay. He goes over to Mickey, and Mickey dies in this movie, eventually, from that heart attack. So it's a big loss to Rocky. He falls into a very, very deep depression. But then, he wants to go back in the ring and get his revenge on Clubber Lang. He wants to do it for Mickey. He wants to win the championship again for Mickey. Adrian has her doubts, of course, as she does throughout the entire series, about Rocky boxing, but Rocky wants to do it, so Rocky does it. And he gets help from Apollo Creed, who actually is friends with him in this one. They start a good friendship in this one. Apollo is Rocky's trainer, and they go through the workouts. Apollo notices that Rocky has lost his Eye of the Tiger, the famous Survivor song. And this song actually is played in Rocky 3. I think it's first played in Rocky 3, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, Rocky has to fight to get his Eye of the Tiger back. And at first it's like he's not going to get it back, but then Adrian really lays it on to him that, really lays it on to him about the whole Mickey thing and, his depression about that. And then Rocky gets the Eye of the Tiger back, trains hard, and then he goes in against Mr. T, or Clubber Lang. I keep calling him Mr. T, but I know him as Mr. T. Clubber Lang, anyway, is, they have a rematch. Clubber Lang originally doesn't want to rematch Rocky, but then he decides, yeah, I'll do it. The big thing about this is that Rocky actually is a southpaw in the first two films. Basically, he fights left-handed. But he changes to fighting right-handed because he protects his eye, his right eye or left eye or something like that. His left eye, I think it is, because his left eye, he suffers from a little bit of blindness in a way from that eye. So he fights right-handed to protect that eye. So the fight goes on between Clubber Lang and Rocky. And at first, Clubber Lang is really superior. He is younger. He is more he's younger. He's stronger. He has that tenacity, just like Rocky, to win. And he really knocks it into Rocky the first three or so rounds. But Rocky really tries a strategy in the final. I think that this goes the full 15 rounds again. This fight, but Rocky tries a little strategy of goading his opponent into knocking the crap out of him. Rocky intentionally takes some punishment from Clubber Lang. Clubber Lang uses all of his strength in trying to knock out Rocky, but Rocky stays in the ring. And he's tough. He's a little scrapper. Because he's pretty short. But Mr. T just cannot knock him out. But then Rocky gets the upper hand because Clubber Lang, he continues, he basically gets winded and really tired from using all of his energy to try to get Rocky, to try to knock the crap out of him. So Rocky then gets the upper hand, and he goes right at Clubber Lang. He's like something like that's my best boxing thing, but eventually Rocky wins. He delivers. He very much delivers the knockout blow to Clubber Lang. Clubber Lang gets down. He can't get up after, before the 10. And Rocky is once again the heavyweight champion of the world. And he does all his thank yous, He's like, "Oh, thank you, Adrian," or something like that, and thanks his family and Mickey and Polly. And he's like, I don't think he really actually says this, but he's like, "Hey, this one's for you, Mickey." And he wins. And that's it for the movie. As for the review, I'm going to give this one another 5 out of 5 stars. I really love this movie. When I watched Rocky 1, it was my favorite. When I watched Rocky 2, it was my favorite over Rocky. It's the same thing with Rocky 3. It was it's my favorite entry in the series so far. Rocky 3 is, I love the whole avenging Mickey's loss. Mickey dies in this film, and Rocky goes into it. And he wants to get the championship back, and he does it for Mickey. And I think it was really good because of that. The whole dialogue between him and Adrian, the tough love that Adrian gives to him, the fight. All the fights in this movie are really well choreographed. They're very, very good. They land punches, Rocky and his opponents, but they don't really land punches, if you know what I mean. But this movie, 5 out of 5 stars. It is a really good one. I like how Apollo Creed and Rocky become really good friends. And that's it for this movie review. So, D-Rock 1992 out.